Justice Sri Sudarshan Reddy, former Judge, Supreme Court of India, Sri B.R. Patil, Vice Chairman of the Karnataka State Policy and Planning Commission, Sri Tampan Thomas, former Member of the Parliament, Dr. Vamsi Krishna, MLA from Telangana State, former Member of Parliament Sri L. Anmantaya, Srimati Geeta Ramakishan, Sri Sundar, former Finance Minister of Kerala Professor Isaac Thomas, distinguished leaders and invitees, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. I consider it both a responsibility and an honor to address the important conference at a time when the very foundation of India's federal democracy are under severe strain. I commend the Center for Socialist Studies and Samajwadi Sangama for organizing this conference at a time when ideas matter as much as power and ideology matters as much as administration. Socialism in India has never been an important ideology. It emerged from our freedom struggle, shaped the Mahatma Gandhi's moral economics, Nehru's social democracy, Lohia's federal vision, and Ambedkar's insistence on social justice and economic democracy. The socialist tradition has always stood with the states, the marginalized regions, linguistic minorities, workers, farmers, and women, those who are most vulnerable when power is excessively centralized. Cooperative federalism then became an important tool to further the ideas of socialism. Cooperative federalism is not a choice, it is the soul of our constitution. These words have echoed across time from the Constituent Assembly to modern debates, reminding us that India's unity lies not in uniformity, but in respecting the diverse regions, languages, and cultures. We are witnessing a dangerous shift from cooperative federalism to coercive centralism. Decisions are being made in Delhi, imposed upon the states, and celebrated as reform, even as they suffocate local treaties. This is not just a policy issue, it is a threat to the very structure of the Indian Union, executed through financial control, political pressure, and constitutional manipulation. The idea of India is not of one-centered ruling over many states. It is many states strengthening one union. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar reminded us that the strength of India lies in the balance between unity and autonomy, yet today that balance is being deliberately unsettled. Historically, socialism emerged as a democratic response to authoritarianism. In industrial Europe, it arose against the unchecked power of monarchies and industrial elites that denied workers dignity, and in colonized nations like India, it became a moral force against imperial rule, the concentrated power and wealth while silencing the people. Despite the recent bitter memories that led India to adopt social democracy, at its core, today's crisis of federalism is not accidental, it is ideological. It arises from a shift away from democratic socialism towards authoritarian centralism. Coercive federalism is not the exact opposite of socialist federalism. Socialism decentralizes power, but centralism hoards power. Socialism empowers states to serve people, but centralism reduces states to agents of center. When the union government upholds funds, delays disaster relief, denies representation, and impose uniform policies, it is not merely violating federalism, it is betraying the socialist spirit of the Constitution. Indian socialism is rooted in Gandhi's Daridra Narayana philosophy and Lohia's emphasis on character, equality, gender justice, caste annihilation, and religious harmony. Redistribution is not just economic, it is moral and civilizational. Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia's concept of Chaukamba Rajya envisioned power distributed across our four pillars: the village, the district, the state, and the center. And it is the socialist vision that later found expression in Panchayati Raj as a democratic empowerment of people and merely a bureaucratic reform. Karnataka too is not a late or borrowed adherent to socialism. Actually, socialist thought is deeply rooted in the state's political history. Socialist leaders and movements shaped Karnataka's governance culture. Their ideas continue to act as path illuminators for administration. The core aim of socialism is Samasamaja Nirman. Today, entrenched the interest are weakening democracy from within. Socialism task is to defend constitutional rights by weakening elite monopolies of power. Under Congress leadership, India adopted constitution that deliberately balanced social justice with federal autonomy, embedding directive principles, affirmative action, and welfare obligations, while preserving strong powers and dignity for states to implement them according to local needs. Successive Congress governments respected Finance Commission as an independent arbiter of fiscal justice, expanding tax devolution and grants to enable states to deliver welfare rather than centralizing resources at the union level. Institutions like the Planning Commission were designed as collaborative platforms with states, allowing flexibility and dialogue rather than top-down directives, making planning an exercise in cooperative federalism, not bureaucratic control. Landmark social democratic initiatives like land reforms, public distribution, irrigation, education, health expansion, and later rights-based legislations were implemented primarily by states, with the center acting as an either rather than a controller. Congress organized states on linguistic lines and protected cultural diversity, recognizing that social democracy thrives when people are governed in their own language and cultural context. UPA period deepened social democracy through rights-based federalism, which laws the employment guarantee, food security, education, and information rights, centrally legislated but state-driven in execution, reflecting trust in state capacity and cooperative governance. Today, this cooperative and socially democratic approach is being systematically overturned. The BJP-led union government has replaced trust with control and partnership with punishment. Fiscal federalism has been hollowed out through shrinking tax devolution and the hoarding resources via cesses and surcharges. States are reduced to implementers without authority, subject to deliver welfare while being denied funds. Institution means dialogue are all silenced, while dissenting states are financially starved. Population control, social progress, and responsible governance are no longer rewarded, they are penalized. This is not cooperative federalism, it is coercive sectoralism, and it strikes at the very heart of India's constitutional democracy. The BJP and the RSS are bringing upon the country three major crises in the form of delimitation, destruction of the constitutional principles, and the suppression of the principle of fiscal federalism. Karnataka is not a laggard state. Karnataka is a top contributor to India's economy. We contribute about 5 lakh crore every year to the union's gross tax revenue. We contributed 8.4% to India's GDP, with just around 5% of the population. We are among the highest GST contributing states. We rank among the top states in manufacturing, innovation, and human development. And yet, for every rupee Karnataka sends to Delhi, only about 14 paise is returned. Is this justice? Is this federalism? It is punishment for being the top reformer. The 14th Finance Commission, constituted under the UPM, recognized Karnataka's contribution and allotted 4.72% share. But under the BJP constituted 15th Finance Commission, our share was cut to 3.64%. With this single decision has robbed Karnataka of more than 1.25 lakh crore in just 5 years. Special grants of rupees 5,495 crore recommended by the Finance Commission were denied, and state-specific grants of 6,000 crore rupees were not released. Increasing use of cesses and surcharges deliberately kept outside the divisible pool has deprived Karnataka over 53,000 crore rupees since 2017.